you're going to be seeing on your ballots as they come up in primaries and then again in November. I've got a chance to talk to Omari just a little bit ago, and I'm real impressed with him. Some of the other candidates I've met too are pretty impressive people as well, but I think we have some really, really great choices. I think there's a reason for that. I'm running in the third. The third district was created for a guy like Bobby Scott to win and to stay in office, and he's been there 28 years because they designed it for someone like him. Is he a bad guy? Probably not. But he has the most consistent liberal Democrat voting record in the entire House of Representatives. And he doesn't represent his district very well at all, in my opinion. When you look at the demographics of the district, the third district, and by the way, it's composed or has sections of 8 different political units here in the Hampton Roads, all the way from Franklin up to Hampton and into Chesapeake and pretty much everything in between. When you look at the demographics of the district, it's about 45.8% black, 45.3% white, and the rest are other minorities. So it goes by design, and so that's why he's been able to stay pretty much in office like he has. But there's some really important changes this year. You know, he hasn't had a whole lot of competition because it's like banging your head against a brick wall to run against him. It's expensive, and your chances of winning are really minimal. Not so this year. He's very vulnerable, and here's why I think he's vulnerable, and this is why I think we have such a great opportunity to beat him. Number one, we have an amazing president. Can I get everyone to agree with that? Yeah. President Trump has done some unbelievably impressive things, despite the opposition that's been mounted against him. You know, we all know it. He's been there 3 years. I know you've seen him on TV a little bit lately, and he's looking kind of ragged, isn't he? I mean, his stamina is amazing, but he is looking ragged these days. He doesn't sleep 3 or 4 hours a night, and he's got this virus thing he's battling, along with, not himself personally, but for the nation, as well as all the other issues he's trying to get accomplished for us. And I've just been so amazed at his stamina and his ability to stand up and go toe-to-toe with anything that comes against us as a nation. But he's getting tired. He's running ragged, and they're trying to wear him down. And so we need to be praying for the president, for the vice president, and his family. Okay, but he's still been able to accomplish some amazing things. And this economy that we had before the virus slammed us was roaring. Okay, and it's going to roar again when this virus gets put to bed. And everyone's noticing. Everyone's noticing, and that's part of the cool thing that's going on in the third district too. The other thing that's happening in the third district with that part of the demographic that typically votes for our opponents, for the Democrats, is this is going to sound funny, but I think our governor has been one of our best allies. What do I mean? He has been adamant about ramming down our throats legislation that is bringing people out of the woodwork that have never been politically active before. When Senator Gosnell talked about the rally on January 20th, Sherry and I were among that 50,000 number group up there. We were part of that. A lot of those people up there weren't really politically active before. But because of what was going on in the state legislature and the threat of what the governor might sign into law, people started showing up. And that's kind of typical of conservative voters. Most conservative voters just kind of want to be left alone. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, we'll all be happy. Well, liberals aren't like that. Liberals have a plan to make you better, whether you want to be better or not. And so they get engaged and they're active. Okay, so the other thing that the governor's done has been ramming pro-choice legislation down the throats of people. And that's where the demographic in the third district is really taking notice, because so many of the black voters who are traditional Democrat voters in the third district are ardent evangelical conservative Christians. And they are really reconsidering their political alignments these days. And if there was ever a time to beat Bobby Scott, it's this year. Now, there are 4 people lined up on the Republican ticket right now, or getting ready to be on the ballot. And that reminds me, I do have a ballot petition here. There are 4 of us lined up, and I can speak pretty confidently that 3 of us are very honorable people. And I'm not going to say anything more about that, but I could. So why would I be the best choice? And I know I'm running out of time.
Yeah, just real quickly.
Why would I be the best choice? Omari had a good point to make here about himself. We're all Christians, the ones I'm talking about. We all have military backgrounds. I'm a retired Navy officer, former high school teacher. But I have been, you know, the demographic's black, and I'm not, obviously. Okay? I'm not about the racial issue, but it has to be real to us, right? I need to convince that demographic that I am more like them in their values than he is like them in his skin color. And that 2 years ago would have been impossible. Not this year. I believe that of the candidates running, I'm the best choice for that. And when I have more time later, I'll tell you more about it. Thank you very much. Jeffrey Burke,
Thank you very much. And you'll hear more about him, and then afterwards, talk to him if you want to get involved.
And sign my
Hear more
petition
about
if you're
his
in the
campaign.
third
And sign if you're in the third.